Hello, all level students. Welcome to my channel. I'm Mrs. Navodha. Today I'm going to discuss the 2020 O-level maths paper. In this video, you will get answers with explanations for part A. I'll do another video for part B. So let's get started. In part A, there are 25 questions and each question gets 2 marks. So in total, you can earn 50 marks at maximum. Okay, let's read the first question. The bill for the monthly phone usage of a household is 1500 rupees. 180 rupees is added to this as VAT. Accordingly, find the percentage that is charged as VAT. So the 180 rupees of VAT is for the 1500 phone bill. We have to find the percentage here, that means per hundred. So how we can write that down? If 180 rupees for 1500, then how much for 100 rupees? Let's solve this. Two zeros are cancelling out. How many fives are there in 15? There are 3. For 180, there are 36 fives. 3 times 1, 3 times 12. So the answer is 12%. Now, if you don't get this question, don't worry, I'll explain it. Now, think the phone bill of your house is 1500 rupees and you are paying 180 rupees as VAT. VAT means value added tax, which is the money you are paying to the government. And in this case, it's 180 and that value is added to this 1500. So you want to know how much VAT you pay as a percentage. Percentage means per hundred. So how we are going to write that down? If 180 rupees of VAT is for 1500 rupees phone bill, then how much is it for 100? So in that way you got 12%. So what is the meaning of this 12%? That means if your phone bill is 100 rupees, then you are paying 12 rupees as VAT. Let's read question number 2. Find the value of x according to the information given in the figure. Here they have given a triangle. These two sides are equal. That makes this angle x. So now you can write down x plus 110 degrees equals 180 degrees. So x equals 180 minus 110. The answer is 70 degrees. If you have written your answer like I did, that means you have mastered all the basic concepts behind this question and you can move forward. But if you got wrong answer or you are stuck in this problem, then you have to listen to this explanation. There is a theorem. If two sides are equal in a triangle, then the opposite angles are equal to each other. So let's say this angle is 35 degrees. What about this angle? This angle is also 35 degrees because these two sides are equal to each other. We call such triangles isosceles triangles. So now look at this figure again. The given triangle has two equal sides. So this one is also isosceles triangle and that's why I wrote x here. Now the next thing you want to know is that the sum of the angles that lie in a straight line is equal to 180. Let's say this angle is A, this angle is B and this angle is C. So the sum of all these three angles equals to 180 degrees because you can see all three angles are lie in a straight line. So that's why I wrote here x plus 110 degrees equals to 180 degrees. Let's move on to the question number 3. Solve 1 over x minus 1 over 3x equals 2 over 3. On the left hand, you can see there are algebraic fractions. So let's solve that part first. Denominators are x and 3x. So we need a common denominator, and that is 3x. How many x are there in 3x? There are 3 minus 1 equals 2 over 3. I'll write the rest here. 3 minus 1 equals 2. 2 over 3x equals 2 over 3. Now let's do the cross multiple. 3 times 2 equals 6. 3x times 2 equals 6x. By dividing 6, you will get x equals 1. Now here I'll do the explanation. Solve 1 over x minus 1 over 3x equals 2 over 3. Solve means find the value of x. And on the left side, you can see there are fractions with x terms. So those are algebraic fractions. When it comes to addition or subtraction of fractions, we have to make sure the denominator is equal. In this case, you can see it's not. Here both denominators have x, but here you can see there is 1 and there is 3. So what you are going to do? You are going to multiply this denominator by 3. When you multiply the denominator, you should multiply the numerator with the same value. So now let's solve this one. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 1, 3. Here you got 1 over 3x equals 2 over 3. Here you can see denominators are equal, so you can write down this one as one fraction. Denominator is 3x, numerator value is 3 minus 1 equals 2. Now let's do the cross multiple here. 3 times 2 equals 6. Here 3x times 2 equals 6x. Now let's divide both sides by 6. So you will get x equals 1 as the answer. Question number 4. It has been estimated that 4 men will take 6 days to complete a certain task. If 2 more men joined this group after they had worked for 3 days, in how many more days can this task be completed? 4 men take 6 days to complete this task. So that means task is 4 times 6, 24 man days. And these 4 people had worked for 3 days. So they have completed 4 times 3, 12 man days. Now how much man days are remain to complete? 24 minus 12 equals 12. To complete this, 2 more men are joined to this group. So altogether there are 6 men. So we divide this 12 man days by 6. Answer is 2. That means we need 2 more days. Man days, man days. Now let's say there is a task. There is a garden to clean. 4 men can finish this task in 6 days. Now we multiply these two numbers to find out the man days. 4 times 6 equals 24. What is man days? What does that mean? It means if the same task was completed by one man, how many days will he take? So in this case, you can see it's 24. One person takes 24 days to clean this garden. Here it says if 2 more men joined this group after they had worked for 3 days. So there some work has been done. These 4 people worked for 3 days. How many people? 4 people worked for 3 days. So 4 times 3 equals 12. That means 12 man days are completed. Now how many man days are there remain to finish? 24 minus 12 equals 12. 12 man days left. And this is when 2 more men join to this group. So altogether there are 6 men here to complete the 12 man days task. Now to find the days, what do we do? we divide man days by number of people. 12 divided by 6 equals 2. That means we need 2 days to complete this task. Question number 5. In the figure, ABC is a right angle triangle. Find the value of x according to the given information. Now this is a right angle triangle, so we can use Pythagoras theorem. AC squared equals to 8 squared plus 6 squared. 8 times 8, 64. 6 times 6, 36. Total is 100. So we know AC squared is 100. Then AC equals to square root of 100, which is 10 centimeter. Here we want to find the value of x, and we know AC, the total length of AC is equal to x plus 7. We just find out AC is equal to 10 centimeters. So let's substitute that. 10 equals x plus 7. So x equals 3 centimeters. Now I'll do the explanation here to the students who need more information on this question. Now hear me out. When you see a right angle triangle with given two sides and one side is remain to find, like this given question, we use Pythagoras theorem. You see this side that opposite to the 90 degrees, we call this side hypotenuse side. And Pythagoras theorem states that in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse side is equal to the sum of squares of other two sides. Let's say this is ABC right angle triangle. Then we can write down the square of hypotenuse side. It's AC squared. It's equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. So it's equal to AB squared plus BC squared. It's simple as that. Now look at this figure again. This is a right angle triangle and the opposite of this angle is AC, which is the hypotenuse side. So we can write down AC squared equal to 8 squared plus 6 squared. That's what I have written here. And you know 8 times 8 64, 6 times 6 36. Altogether you got 100 here. That means AC is equal to 10 centimeters. Here they have given the distance from here to here is x and here to here is 7. So in total we know it's 10 centimeters. That makes x is 3 centimeters. Question number 6. Find the least common multiple of the following expressions. 3x, 2xy, 4y squared. 3x, 2xy, 4y squared. I'm going to divide with the least prime number 2. 3x is not divisible. Let's leave that. 2xy divided by 2 equals xy. Here 2y squared. Let's do the division again by 2. 3x, xy, y squared. This time I'm going to divide it by 3x, xy, y squared. Next I'm going to divide it by x. You got 1, here y and y squared. Now I'm going to do the division by y. So you get 1, 1 and y. Let's divide by y, 1, 1 and 1. To find least common multiple, we multiply all these numbers and expressions. 2 times, 2 times, 3 times, x times, y times, y. What is the answer? 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 3, 12. Here, xy squared. So this is the final answer. Okay, for the students who don't know what the least common multiple is, try to understand this simple explanation. Now I am asking you to think about numbers that are both divisible by 4 and 12. The number you think should be divisible by both 4 and 12. For example, let's take number 4. 4 is divisible by 4, you will get 1. But 4 is not divisible by 12. So number 4 is not divisible by both 4 and 12, right? Let's take number 12. 12 is divisible by 4, you will get 3. Yes, 12 is also divisible by 12, you will get 1. So number 12 is divisible by both 4 and 12. Let's think about another number. What about 24? 24 is divisible by 4, you will get 6 as the answer. 24 is also divisible by 12, you will get 2 as the answer. So 24 is another number that are divisible by both 4 and 12. The next number is 36. And the next number after that is 48. And after that 16. So on. Now what is the smallest number among these? It's 12. Yes, you're right. It's 12. So we call 12 is the least common multiple of 4 and 12. So did you get the idea now? Think about the divisible number by the given numbers and it should be the least one. There are other ways to find it, other ways to find least common multiple, but I found this way to be easier. We write down given numbers or expressions in a row like this. And we start to divide with odd of the prime numbers. So what is the least prime number? It's 2. Now let's do the division. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Again we are going to divide this by 2. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Now the next prime number is 3. Let's do the division. So you get 1 and 1. Now this is where the division ends. So how to find the least common multiple? We multiply these numbers. 2 times 2 times 3. What is the answer? 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12. So this is one way to find the least common multiple. And that's what I have done here. They have given expressions here. 3x, 2xy, 4y squared. First concentrate on numbers. Okay, you got 3, 2 and 4. So we start with the least prime number which is 2. Here 3 is not divisible by 2. So leave that as it is and move on to the next one. 2 is divisible by 2. So you get xy. 4 is divisible by 2. So you get 2y squared. Then again you are going to divide this by 2 and this time 2y squared is the only expression that are divisible by 2. So it has simplified to y squared. Now there's number 3. Therefore we are going to divide it by 3. So you get xy, y squared. Now in this row all you can see is x and y terms. So let's start with x terms. Actually there is no order. First you should start with x then y like that thing. But let's start with x terms. So you have simplified this to 1. Here 1x is cancelling out. So y is remaining here and y squared. Then again you are going to divide by y. Y divided by y equals 1 and y squared is simplified to y. Then in the last division we have simplified to this. So this is where the division stops. Now the next thing you're going to do is multiple all these numbers and expressions. So that's how you can find the least common multiple. Question number 7. Information relevant to the motion of an object traveling at a uniform speed is shown below. Distance in meters, time in seconds. You can see there are 5 coordinates 0, 0, 4, 2, 8, 4, 12, 6 and 16 and 8. Problem number 1. Find the speed of the object in meters per second. So how we are going to find that? You should remember this formula. Speed equals distance over time. Now we have to find out the speed. So you can choose any coordinates among these. I'll go with 12 and 6. 12 is in meters. 12 is the distance. And the time it took to cover that distance is 6 seconds. So what is the answer? 2 meters per second. This is the uniform speed. Problem number 2. Find the time the object takes to travel 22 meters at this speed. So we know the speed is 2 meters per second and the distance this case is 22 meters. So you have to find out the time. We are using same formula, speed equals distance over time. Now let's do the substitution. Speed is 2 meters per second. Distance is 22 meters and we have to find out the time. Equals 2t equals 22. Let's divide both sides by 2. 2 is cancelling out. T equals 11 seconds because they have given the time in seconds. First of all, let's understand what uniform speed means. Now, this is a road and there is a man. Let's take the object in this question is this man. He started walking to this direction and each second we are going to measure the distance that he has walked. Now I am going to mark the given time here. They have given 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8 seconds. So let's mark it. 2 seconds, 4 seconds. At this point, 6 seconds has passed. Here, 8 seconds. Now let's mark the distance. He started his journey here, so the distance is 0. And after 2 seconds had passed, a distance of 4 meters had been covered here to here. At 4 seconds, the distance is 8 meters. This 8 is from the starting point. Here to here is 8. So that makes the distance from here to here is 4. Likewise, you can mark the distance from here to here is 4 because 4 times 3 equals 12. And same goes to here. This distance is also 4 meters because 4 times 4 equals 16. And when you look at the gap between the given time frame, each gap equals to 2 seconds. Here to here, the distance of time is 2 seconds. Here to here, the distance is 2 seconds. Now you can clearly see that in each equal time frames, he had moved same distance, 4 meters in this case. So this motion is uniform. Therefore, we call his speed is uniform speed. If you plot a graph against time and distance, x-axis is time and y-axis is distance, you will get y equals mx type graph. Here the coordinate is 0, 0. And how do we find the gradient? We take any coordinate in the graph. Let's say this coordinate is 12 and 6. X coordinate is 6, y coordinate is 12. To find the gradient, we divide y coordinates by x coordinates. So 12 divided by 6. So this gradient gives you the velocity of this object. So this is what we have done here. Once you understand the basic concepts, you don't have to remember this formula forcefully. The gradient of this graph gives the speed. Question number 8. Shade the region that represents A dash intersection B in the given Venn diagram. Okay, first I'll think about A dash. That means outside of the A. B is the circle B, so the intersection represents this area. Soon I'll explain how to think of this quickly. This is how we can easily figure A dash intersection B region. First of all, there are two sets. A dash is one set, B is another set. Now I'm going to shade each set in this Venn diagram. A dash means elements without A. So we are going to shade the region except the circle A. So I'm looking at only the circle A and just leave the circle A and shade the whole area. Now I'm going to shade set B. So this is the circle that represents set B. We just identified A dash and B. Now we want to know what is A dash intersection B. Intersection means the elements that are common to both A dash and B sets. So when you see this Venn diagram, you can see that a particular area has covered with both red and green lines. And this is the area now you should be looking for. So that's how we can easily identify A dash intersection B. Question number 9. The center of the circle shown in the figure is O. Find the value of x according to the given information. So this is the center and this line is the diameter. Here they have given 30 degrees. We know this angle is 90 degrees because semicircle angles are 90 degrees, and we can find out this angle it's 60 degrees. And these two angles x and 60 degrees are same segment angles. Therefore, x equals to 60 degrees. Let's write that down. We can just write that down straight away. X equals 60 degrees. We need to write the reason within brackets. Same segment angles. This is it. This is the answer. Now I'll explain all the theories behind this question. It's a lot easier than you think. Now this is the first theorem that you should know. Angle in a semicircle is 90 degrees. Here it says semicircle. Semicircle means half of a circle. Let's say this is the center. Now I am going to draw a line that passes through the center. You know what this line called? Yes, it's diameter. So any angle comes off with diameter is equal to 90 degrees. So this angle is 90 degrees. This theorem only works for semicircles. So remember this line should be a diameter. And the next theorem you should know is angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. If you don't know what is a segment means, hear me out. Now I am going to draw a line that touches the circle in both sides. Such lines we call chords. By this line, circle has divided into two segments. This is minor segment and this one is major segment. And another word you should know is an arc. Let's name this chord AB. Now this curved line of this circumference is called AB minor arc and this curved line called AB major arc. Okay, with that on mind, let's hear the theorem again. Angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. I'll name this point A and this point B. Now I'm going to draw a line like this. Now you can see there are two segments and I'm going to choose the major segment, this one, to draw angles. Let's say this angle is theta. Now I'm going to draw another angle coming off AB and going to draw in the same segment, the major segment. According to this theorem, this angle is also theta. Now these two angles are in the same segment. Therefore, they are equal. What about I am going to draw another angle like this starting off AB? What is the value of this angle then? It's also theta. So that is the theorem. I hope you understand this. Now let's go to the question again. The center of the circle shown in the figure is O. This is the center and this line is the diameter. According to the semicircle theorem, this angle is 90 degrees. So here they have given 30 degrees. 30 plus 90, 120, and this angle is 60 degrees. We can find out this angle is 60 degrees. Now look at this arc. See, when you see this arc, you can see this X angle and this 60-degree angle are lies in same segment. So therefore, according to the same segment theorem, x equals to 60 degrees. Question number 10. If log base a of b equals c, underline the correct statement from the following statements. So the answer should be b equals a to the power c. From number 2. This is the answer. This is in logarithm form and the given answer sign index form. There is a way to convert logarithm forms to index forms. So let's see how we can do that. First of all, I'll take this example to explain this question. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2 equals 8. We can shorten this expression into 2 to the power 3. So 2 to the power 3 equals 8. Now this is the index form. We read this as 2 to the power 3 equals 8. 3 is the power. 2 is the base value. Let's say 2 is the base. And 8 is the desired value. Now let's write down this 2 to the power 3 equals 8 in logarithm form. We write log. We write base value here. Base value is 2. And we write power here. Power is 3. And the desired value, or we call argument, we write it here. Now this is logarithm form. This is base. This is the power. And this 8 is argument. Now let's see how we can easily convert logarithm forms to index forms. We start with the base. This is the base value. We write it here. And this is the power. We write it here. And this 8, we write it here. So 2 to the power 3 equals 8. And this is the index form. Now look at this question again and read with me. 2 to the power 3. 2 to the power 3. So when you practice to look at this direction, you start to thinking, okay, I have to write it this a to the power c. A to the power c. A is the base, c is the power. So a to the power c equals b. So that's how I got this answer quickly. Question number 11, simplify. 3x over y times 5y squared over 6x. Okay, let's solve. 3 times 1, 3 times 2. This x is cancelled into this x. Y is cancelled into 1y over here. So the answer is, here we have 5y over 2. This is the answer. 3x over y times 5y squared over 6x. Now there are numerator and denominator values, so these are fractions. And you can see x and y terms here. So these are algebraic fractions and you have to do the multiplication here. Okay, let's do this way. I'm going to write down numerator values here. 3x times 5. Y squared means y times y. And the denominator values are y times 6x. Now you can cancel out common ones. Let's start with the numbers. 3 times 1, 3 times 2. Here you can see 5, but 5 is not divisible by 2, so let's leave it as it is. Now look at, there is 1x is cancelling to here 1x. And here 1y is cancelling to 1y here. So what's remaining in the numerator? Here 5 and here 1y. So 5 times y equals 5y over, in the denominator 2 is remaining. So this is how we simplify this algebraic fraction. Question number 12. A portion of a grouped frequency distribution is shown here. You can see there are class intervals and frequencies. For the interval 11 to 15, write the upper class limit. 11 to 15. So the upper class limit is 15. Lower class boundary. So we need to add 10 and 11, then divided by 2. 10 plus 11 equals 21. 21 divided by 2 equals 10.5. Now this is the same frequency table. You can see there are 3 intervals, 5 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. Consider this 5 to 10 class interval. This class interval represents numbers greater than or equal to 5 and less than or equal to 10. That means 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These numbers are included in this class interval. And what about the next interval, 11 to 15? Say it again with me. This class interval represents numbers greater than or equal to 11 and less than or equal to 15. So the numbers starting from 11 to 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. These numbers are included in the 11 to 15 class interval. And in the next class interval, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. These numbers are included. These are lower class limits and these are upper class limits. And here they are asking for the interval 11 to 15, what is the upper class limit? So look at here, 11 to 15, upper class limit is 15. Chrome number 2, lower class boundary for the interval 11 to 15. Now you can see in each class intervals there is a gap. For example, 5 to 10 class interval ends in 10 and the next class interval starts in 11. So there is a one gap between those two intervals. Considering the next interval 11 to 15, that class interval ends in 15 and the next class interval starts in 16. So there is a one gap. So that's why we are going to find a boundary here. Boundary is a common value for 10 and 11, 15 and 16. Now let's find boundaries for each intervals. I'm going to add 10 and 11 and divide it by 2 to find the middle value. So you get 10 plus 11, 21 divided by 2 equals 10.5. So this is the middle value of 10 and 11. So we can replace 10 and 11 with 10.5. Now let's add 15 and 16. 15 plus 16 divided by 2. You will get 15.5. So you can replace 15 and 16 with 15.5. Here 15.5. Look at upper class limits. These values increased by 0.5. So 20 should be 20.5. And when you see the lower class limit, it has deducted by 0.5. 16 becomes 15.5. 11 becomes 10.5. Then 5 should be 4.5. Here they are asking lower class boundary for the interval 11 to 15. So the interval 11 to 15 is here and the lower class boundary is 10.5. In your answer sheet, you should write down how you found it. 10 plus 11 divided by 2 equals 10.5. Question number 13. In the parallelogram ABCD, AB equals 12 centimeters. This length is 12 centimeters. And the area of the triangle BCD is 48 squared centimeters. Find the length of AP. Okay, let's take AP length is H. Since ABCD is a parallelogram, we know DC is also equals to 12 centimeters. Opposite sides are equal. Now let's write down the formula for the area of BCD triangle. It's equal to half times base. Base is DC and perpendicular height is AP. Now I'm going to substitute the given data. Area is 48 squared centimeters. Half times DC is 12 centimeters. Let's take AP as H. 2 times 1, 2 times 6. Now let's divide both sides by 6. 6 is cancelling out. So H equals to 8 centimeters. Let's name this parallelogram is ABCD. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. AB parallel to DC and also AB equals to DC. So here AD is parallel to BC and also AD is equal to BC. The given ABCD figure is a parallelogram and here they have given AB length is 12 centimeters. That's why we wrote 12 centimeters here because opposite sides are equal to each other. And the next thing you should know is how to find the area of a given triangle. Remember this formula, area of a triangle. It's equal to half times base times perpendicular height. So in BCD triangle, base is DC We can draw a perpendicular line from A to DC. And let's take this height is H. So H is the perpendicular height. So here we have written the formula. Area is 48, BC is 12 centimeters, and then you can simplify this and finally we can find the H value. It's 8 centimeters. Question number 14. AB is a vertical post located on a level ground. So this is the AB and it's vertical. P and Q are 2 points on the level ground as shown in the figure. P and Q are on the level ground. That means PQ line is horizontal and AB line is vertical. So that makes this angle 90 degrees. The top B of the post AB, B is here, when observed from Q, is seen with an angle of elevation of 70 degrees. So B is observing from the point Q. So you have to connect these 2 points, Q and B. This is the angle of elevation and it's 70 degrees. When observed from B, now the observer is here at the point B. The point P is seen with an angle of depression of 50 degrees. Now let's connect B and P points and let's draw a horizontal line from here. So angle of depression is 50 degrees. That means this angle is 50 degrees. Represent this information in the figure. We already did that and this is the answer. To understand this question, let's revisit the concepts of angle of elevation and angle of depression from grade 10. Okay, now think this is your eye and this horizontal line is your eye level. There is a tree. Now we want to see the top of the tree. So you look up here. The angle starting from the eye level to the line you drew is called angle of elevation. So let's say this is theta. Theta is the angle of elevation. And when you look down to see the roots of the tree, you see it this direction. So the angle from eye level to this line is called angle of depression. Let's say this angle is alpha. Alpha is angle of depression. Now look at this question again. AB is a vertical post located on a level ground. Level ground is parallel to the earth. So therefore, we take this PQ line as a horizontal line. And they have mentioned here AB is a vertical post. So this angle is 90 degrees. The top B is observed from Q and the angle of elevation is 70 degrees. So there is a man at point Q and this is his eye level. He is looking at point B. So he looked up from here to here. So this is the angle of elevation and it is 70 degrees. Now look at here. When observed from B, now the man is here and this is his eye level. It's a horizontal line. Point P is seen with an angle of depression of 50 degrees. Point P is here and the angle starting from his eye level to this line is the angle of depression and it's given here 50 degrees. So that's how you are going to mark it here. So this question is easy when you know how to mark angle of elevation and angle of depression. Question number 15. Find the third term of the geometric progression with first term 6 and second term minus 12. First term is 6, second term is minus 12. So we need to find the third term. Let's find out the common ratio. R is equal to minus 12 over 6. So common ratio is minus 2. Now to find the third term, we can use formula as well. Tn equals ARn minus 1. A is the first term, it's 6. We just found out R, it's minus 2. So what is the answer? 6 times 3 minus 1 is 2. Minus 2 to the power 2 equals 4. So the third term is 24. We can write it here. Third term is 24. Look at this sequence. The first term is 2. The second term is obtained by multiplying the first term by 2. And third term is obtained by multiplying the second term by 2. 4 times 2, 8. So you can see the sequence is continuing in this manner. 8 times 2, 16. 16 times 2, 32. So you know the next term is 32 times 2 equals 64. Such number patterns we call a geometric progression. And this fixed value is called the common ratio. R is the symbol for the common ratio. To find the common ratio, either we can divide second term by first term, 4 over 2. Or we can divide third term by second term, 8 over 4. Or we can divide fourth term by third term, 16 over 8. And so forth. Now look at this question again. They have given first term and second term, it's 6 and minus 12. So to find the common ratio, we divide second term by first term and the answer is minus 2. So you want to know the next term, you can simply multiply the second term by common ratio minus 2 to get the answer, or you can use this formula. We use this formula to find out any term in a geometric progression. Tn equals ARn minus 1. Tn is the nth term, A is the first term of the geometric progression. You know R is the common ratio, N is the number of the term. For this progression, A is 6, it's the first term, and R is minus 2. We want to find the third term, that's why I wrote 3 here. So 3 minus 1 equals 2, minus 2 to the power 2 equals 4. 6 times 4 equals 24. In that way, you can find out the third term of this progression. Question number 16. Q is the midpoint of the side AC of the triangle ABC shown in the figure. AQP angle equals QCB angle equals 90 degrees. This is the midpoint, so AQ equals QC, and these two angles are 90 degrees. Problem number 1. Name an angle equal to APQ. APQ angle is here. These two 90-degree angles are corresponding angles and they are equal to each other. That means QP and CB are parallel to each other. So what is the corresponding angle to APQ? It's ABC. So ABC angle is the answer for the row number 1. Row number 2. If PQ equals 4 centimeters, PQ, this length is 4 centimeters. Find the length of BC. Length of BC equals 2 times length of PQ. According to the converse of the midpoint theorem. Two times 4 equals 8. So the length of BC is 8 centimeters. Let's revisit corresponding angles. Say these two lines are parallel. When a transversal line crosses these two lines, corresponding angles occur. You see the F letter shape here. So these two angles are corresponding angles and they are equal. Again, these two lines are parallel lines and this transversal line crosses these two parallel lines. So corresponding angles occur and they are equal. It works the other way around. There are two lines and we don't know if they are parallel or not. When I drew this line, corresponding angles occur and let's say these two angles are equal. Then we can say because of corresponding angles are equal, these two lines are parallel to each other. If corresponding angles are equal, then these two lines are parallel. We used this knowledge to identify P, Q and BC are parallel lines. Because it was given AQP and QCB angles are 90 degrees, these two corresponding angles are equal to each other. So PQ and BC lines are parallel. Let's mark it here. PQ and BC are parallel. In Rome number 1, they asking to name an angle equal to APQ. APQ angle is here. So we can find corresponding angle to APQ. It's ABC angle, or you can write down PBC angle. Both are correct. To answer Rome number 2, you will need to know about midpoint theorem. Let's name this triangle ABC. Let's take midpoint of AB is P and midpoint of AC is Q. The line through the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side, and the length of PQ equals to half of BC length. So this is the midpoint theorem. Now look at this figure again. We know only one midpoint and it's Q. And the next thing we know is QP parallel to BC. Therefore, we can say this QP line bisects the AB side. That means P is the midpoint. So PQ is given, it's 4 centimeters. Then BC is twice of that length, which is 8 centimeters. Question number 17. A right prism with a right triangular cross section is shown in figure A. Select and underline the figure which is not the shape of a face of the prism. Prism has 5 sides, 2 triangular shapes and 3 rectangular shapes. You may see this shape looks like this shape, but it's not. So the answer is Rome number 2. In a prism, there is no shape like this. Question number 18. One factor of the expression 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 is x plus 1. Find the other factor. This is a quadratic expression. So there are two factors for this expression. X plus 1 is one factor and the other factor is 2x plus 1. So this is how I thought. 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. This is a quadratic expression. It equals to x plus 1 times the other factor. Now look at this factor. There is a x term and a constant term. Like that, there should be a x term and constant term. Now to get 2x squared, you have to multiply this x by 2x. Do the multiplication again. X times 2x equals 2x squared. Now there is a constant value and it's 1. So you have to multiply this 1 by 1. 1 times 1 equals 1. I am writing plus sign here because all these terms are positive. There is another method to find this. 2x squared 3x plus 1. If I can write down 4 terms, now you can see there are 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. If I can write down 4 terms, so it's easy to factorize 2x squared. Instead of 3x, I am going to write down 2x plus x. Now consider these two terms and let's take out common ones. 2x is common. So what's remaining here? X plus 1. If you want to check again, you can multiply the brackets. 2x times x equals 2x squared. 2x times 1 equals 2x. There are no common terms. So write down 1 out of the bracket and then write down x plus 1. Now you can see x plus 1 is common to this expression. Let's take it out. X plus 1. When you take it out, here 2x is remaining and here plus 1. So you can find the other factor in this way as well. Question number 19. A circle with center O is shown in the figure. Find the magnitudes of the following angles according to the given information. Problem number 1. ABC angle. ABC angle is here. ABC angle subtended by AC major arc at the circumference. And you can see 240 degrees subtended by the same arc at the center. So we can use angle at the center theorem. ABC angle is 120 degrees. The reason is the angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. So ABC is 120 degrees. Problem number 2, ADC angle. ADC is here. And I can see ADCB is a cyclic quadrilateral. Therefore, opposite angles are supplementary. That means sum of the opposite angles are equal to 180. So this angle is 120. So ADC is 60 degrees. Let's write down the reason here. The opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. This is the first theorem that you should know. Let's see how we can apply it. I am choosing the minor arc. This is AB minor arc. I am choosing AB minor arc to subtend the angle at the center and the same arc to subtend angle at the circumference. Now according to this theorem, the angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. If this angle is x, then the angle at the center is twice of that angle, it's 2x. Let's see another application. I'm using a minor arc again. Let's say this is AB. This angle subtended by AB minor arc at the center, and the angle that now I'm drawing is also subtended by the same arc. So according to this theorem, if the angle at the center is 120 degrees, this angle will be 60 degrees, half of that. For the next two applications, I am going to choose major arc. Let's say this is PQ major arc. This angle is subtended by PQ major arc at the center. Now I'm going to draw another angle subtended by the same arc at the circumference. According to the theorem, if this angle is 2y, then this angle is equal to y. Angle at the circumference is half of the angle at the center. Now I'll give you a question. This is the major arc, and this angle subtended by this major arc at the center. Let's say this angle is 160 degrees. Now my question is, you have to draw another angle that's subtended by the same arc, which is 80 degrees. Okay, I'll give you 3 seconds. If you have drawn any angle starting with the same arc on this side, then it's correct. Hear me again. If you have drawn any angle on this side of the circumference, this green area, then you're correct. But if you have drawn angle on the other side, somebody can say it has started with the same mark, but you have drawn it to the wrong side, then this type of angles are incorrect. Okay. This is the next theorem. This theorem will help you to find the answer for the Rome number 2. Let's read it. The opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. What is a cyclic quadrilateral? Quadra means 4, so that shape should contain 4 sides and all 4 vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see all 4 vertices are on the circle. So this is a cyclic quadrilateral. Supplementary means 180 degrees. Let's say this angle is A, this angle is B, this angle is C, this angle is D. According to this theorem, opposite angles are 180 degrees. That means A plus B equals 180 degrees. Here D and C are opposite angles. Therefore, D plus C equals 180 degrees. Now look at this figure again. A, B, C, D. All these 4 vertices are on the circle. So ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. And we found out angle B equals 120 degrees. Therefore, angle D should be 180 minus 120, 60 degrees. This is the answer. Question number 20. Find the gradient intercept of the straight line which passes through the point 0, 2 and 5, 2. Let's find the gradient first. Gradient equals to difference of y coordinates over difference of x coordinates. 2 minus 2 equals 0, 5 minus 0 equals 5. Anything over 0 equals 0. From number 2, intercept. Intercept is 2 because here x coordinate is 0. When x coordinate is 0, the graph line cuts y at the point 2 and that's the intercept. Here they have given two coordinates 0, 2 and 5, 2. Without plotting the graph, we can find the gradient. There's a formula to find the gradient. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the x coordinate and this is the y coordinate. Here this one is x coordinate and this one is y coordinate. I'm going to start with this y coordinate. It's 2. 2 minus here y coordinate is also 2 over. Now that you started with this y coordinate, you have to start with this x coordinate. So 5 minus here x coordinate is 0. 2 minus 2 equals 0. 0 over 5 equals 0. 0 is the gradient. Let's say this is y-axis and this is x-axis. Intercept is a point where the graph line crosses the y-axis. In this case, this is the intercept point. So what is the x-coordinate of any point on the y-axis? It's 0. And here they have given 0 to coordinate. So we can say 2 is the intercept of this graph. Question number 21. The digits 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 have been written on the 6 sides of a balanced die. Find the probability of a side with a prime number written on it falling face up when this die is rolled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 numbers on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 numbers are prime numbers. So this is the probability. We can simplify this to 2 over 3. First of all, let's see what are the prime numbers. Prime numbers are the numbers that have only two factors. 2 has only two factors, 2 and 1. 3 has only two factors, 3 and 1. The next prime number is 5. 7. What is the next prime number? It's 11. Okay, so these are the prime numbers. It's easy to think about prime numbers because you can write down only 1 times that number itself. In that way, you can get two factors, right? So these are the prime numbers. Now they ask him probability of falling a side with a prime number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 options that can fall. Among these 6, how many prime numbers are there? 2, 2, 3, 3. These are the prime numbers. Count with me 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 prime numbers. So this is the probability. Let's simplify it. 2 times 2, 2 times 3. So the answer is 2 over 3. Question number 22. The points P, Q, R and S lie on the circle with center O. The side SR has been produced to T and POM is a straight line. Find the value of Y according to the information in the figure. This is center. P, Q, R and S lie on the circle. That means PQRS is a cyclic quadrilateral. You can see SR is produced to T, so 80 degrees exterior angle. In a cyclic quadrilateral, exterior angle equals to the opposite interior angle. So this angle is 80 degrees. Here you can see M is the midpoint of chord SR. Line from a center to midpoint of a chord is perpendicular. Therefore, this is 90 degrees. Now we know in PMS triangle, this is 90 degrees and this one is 55. So what about this angle? OPS. 90 minus 55. It's 35 degrees. So now we can find out value of y. It equals to 80 degrees minus 35. We just find out this angle is 35 degrees. So what is the answer? 45 degrees. Look at this theorem. In a cyclic quadrilateral, exterior angle is equal to the opposite interior angle. Now ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. And you can see CD produced to E. So this is the exterior angle. Let's say it's Y. According to the theorem, this exterior angle equal to the opposite interior angle. So this angle is also Y. Look at this figure again. PQRS is cyclic quadrilateral and SR has been produced to T. So 80 degrees is exterior angle and the opposite interior angle is QPS, this angle. So it's also 80 degrees. This is the next theorem. Line from center to midpoint of a chord is perpendicular. This is AB chord and this is the center. Let's say this is the midpoint of this AB chord. Now I am going to draw a line from the center to this midpoint. So this OM line is perpendicular to the chord. That's the theorem. Now look here, O is the center and you can see SR is the chord and M is the midpoint of that chord. According to the theorem, OM is perpendicular to this chord SR. After finding that, we can easily find out this angle. It's 35 degrees. We have calculated it here and we know this whole angle is 80 degrees. So we can find y by subtracting 35 degrees from 80 degrees. So the answer is 45 degrees. Question number 23. The arc lengths of the sectors of circles shown in figure A and figure B are equal. That means this length and this length are equal. Find the value of r. So here we have to find the radius of this sector. Now I am going to write down an equation by equating lengths of these two arcs. How we can find this length? 2 phi r means radius. I'll take this capital R times 45 degrees out of. So this arc length equals to this arc length 2 phi r. Here r is 7 centimeters. I'll substitute that r. Angle is 90 degrees out of 360. Since this is an equation, these two are cancelling out and also 2 phi is cancelling out to 2 phi. 45 times 1, 45 times 2. On the left side, r is remaining. On the right side, 2 times 7 is remaining. 2 times 7 equals 14. So the answer is 14 centimeters. Let's say these two lengths are ready and this is the arc length. This is the origin. These are ready. Let's take this arc length is L and the angle at the center is theta. We call this portion a sector. When you need to find an arc length of a sector, we multiply 2 phi r by the angle of the given sector out of 360 degrees. So this is the formula to find an arc length of a given sector. Remember this formula. In this question it says these two arc lengths L1 and L2 are equal. So I'm going to write down an expression for L1. 2 phi r means radius. Here it's capital R times the angle here is 45 degrees. So 45 degrees out of 360 degrees. Now let's write down formula for L2. Here the angle is 90 degrees, radius is 7 centimeters. So 2 phi r is 7 centimeters, 90 degrees out of 360 degrees. Now these two lengths are equal. Now you got an equation, so you can cancel out common ones. I'm going to multiply both sides by 360 degrees. So what happens here? 360 degrees cancel out to 360 degrees. And it's cancelling out on the right side too. And you can see 2 5 term is common to both sides. So I can divide both sides by 2 5. So 2 5 is also cancelling out. Now let's write down remaining ones. On the left side, r times 45 degrees. On the right side, 7 times 90 degrees. Let's divide both sides by 45 degrees. 45 is cancelling out. 45 times 1, 45 times 2. So r equals to 7 times 2, 14 centimeters. Question number 24. They have given addition of two matrices. Find the value of x and then find the value of y. Now look at this x. It equals to 2 plus minus 1. X equals to 2 plus minus 1. 2 minus 1 equals 1. So the value of x is 1. Here is the y and corresponding elements are 1 and x. So we can write down 1 plus y equals x. 1 plus y equals x. We know the value of x. It's 1. So the value of y is 0. Now this is matrix A. And the elements are A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 and A6. Now tell me how many rows you can see here. In this matrix, there are 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. 3 by and there are 2 columns. 1, 2. So this is a 3 by 2 matrix. I'm going to write down another 3 by 2 matrix. B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6. Now this is the matrix B. And let's write down another matrix with the same size. So these B and C matrices are also 3 by 2 matrices. Since these 3 matrices are equal in size, you can add those matrices. You can add A plus B, or B plus C, or A plus C, or you can add all these 3 matrices together. So what happens when you add A plus B? Corresponding elements adding together. Therefore, we can add A1 value to B1, A2 value to B2 value. And what is the corresponding element to A3? It's B3. A4 plus B4. A5 plus B5. A6 plus B6, like that. If you are adding B and C matrices, you can add B5 to C5, B3 to C3, B1 to C1. If you are adding A plus C, then you can add A2 to C2, A4 value to C4 value, A6 value to C6 value, because they are corresponding elements. And if you are going to add all these 3 matrices, we can write down A1 plus B1 plus C1, A2 plus B2 plus C2. Okay, like that. Now look at this question again. All 3 matrices are equal in size and they are 3 by 2 matrices. Therefore, we can do the addition. Now look at corresponding elements. 1 and 3 are corresponding elements. So 1 plus 3 equals 4. Here minus plus 4 equals 3. Here 0 plus 1 equals 1. So we can write down 2 plus minus 1 equals x. That's how we found the value of x. Now y value is here and the corresponding value here is 1. So 1 plus y equals x. Since you know the value of x, you can find the value of y. Question number 25. The figure shows an incomplete sketch of a construction done to find the point P, which is 5 centimeters from the straight line AB and equidistant from the points A and B. Complete the sketch indicating how the location of the point P is found. To find point P, two conditions must be satisfied. One condition is point P is located 5 centimeters away from the straight line AB. And the other condition is that point P should be equidistant from points A and B. Actually, they have done a favor for us. You see this line? It's located 5 centimeters away from the AB line. So point P is somewhere here on this line. So let's draw a perpendicular bisector because we are looking for a path that equals to both A and B. Now let's draw perpendicular bisector. Take your compass and place it on point A. And then draw two arcs here and here. Now place this compass on the other side and draw two arcs here and here. Let's connect these two intersect points. Now this is the perpendicular bisector to points A and B. So where is the point P? It should lie on this line and also on this line. So you can see there is a common point to both lines and that common point is here. So this is the point P. Here I am going to explain about perpendicular bisector. Let's say you need to walk along a path that is equidistant from two trees. I am going to represent this tree by point C and this tree by point D. Let's connect these 2 points. Now you are here at point A in the middle of the line, which is fine because it is same distance from point C and point D. Now you are walking along this path that is perpendicular to the line CD. Now let's say that you are here at the point A dash, length from A dash to D and A dash to point C is equal to each other. So we call this line perpendicular bisector. This is the end of the video. I hope you find it useful. Subscribe and click the notification so you'll be notified when I upload more videos. Thank you everyone. See you in another video.